Hello, everyone. It is 11 a.m. and I am going to go ahead and begin. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to attend today's session. The session is being recorded, so if someone needs to review it again, you'll have access to it. I do want to go ahead and start on time, and those that will be joining us can do so at their own leisure. So today, we're going to be covering some of the updates that were recently released, and what we're going to be talking about is version 1.13.3. And so we're going to kind of go over where you can access those options. And I'm just getting my windows ready, so pardon me if I look a little like I'm looking all over the place, but I'm just trying to get that particular window ready for you. Hi, everyone. Welcome as you're joining. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Maria Caro, and I am part of the SoftSmile team. You may have seen me previously in some of the YouTube videos. I have another colleague in the background that's assisting me, making sure that things flow smoothly or as smoothly as possible as they can with internet. So I'm going to begin sharing my screen. And again, what we're going to be talking about is version 1.13.3. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to share with you where you'll be able to access the new version if you haven't already been notified when you open the software or portal to download it. So I'm going to begin sharing my screens. And again, bear with me because I have to switch between a couple of screens back and forth. So at this time, hopefully you'll be seeing the portal itself. And so I wanted to share with you where you can go ahead and download this new version. And so once you log into your portal, you're going to go ahead and go into your downloads tab, and you'll be able to see Vision 1.13.3, and you'll be able to download it. Downloading it is pretty easy. It's kind of just click next, next, next. It'll uninstall the previous version and download the new version. And I also want you to take note that we have changed DFA or Doctor Face Application. So now it is Vision Editor. So if you don't see DFA, it's okay. It's now Vision Editor. Okay, great. So now you know where to download the version. And so now I'm going to switch to the other screen so you can begin to see where we're going to be able to access some of these new updates. Okay, so now you should be seeing the setup stage within our software. And so the place where you're going to be accessing some of these features is going to be mainly in the menu. So we're going to go over the first one. So the first feature I'm going to show is in company settings. Now in this option, you're going to be able to add your company logo that will translate to the PDF report that you normally print out when you have your review stage or when you're exporting. So we're going to begin here in the menu. We're going to go into the company settings. And the first tab that shows up at the top is the account settings. So immediately here, we're going to click on the set values option so it activates the window. And you're going to be able to click on the company logo option. So you'll see that there's a little tab or a little cell that says choose file. And we're going to click on that. And then you're going to begin to browse for your logo. So I selected just a simple logo, nothing, just so you could see what it would look like. So we're going to click on logo and we're going to open and we're going to save as preview. So when we click save as preview, it's going to hold it in memory. And so what I'm going to show you now is what that looks like in the PDF report. So as you can see here, this is also we revamped the visualization of the PDF report, but you can see the logo now at the top corner. We have also a new option that you will reach out to us to let us know if this is something that you want to execute, which is the option to hide client information. So we can hide this cell from the visualization when you print it out, if it's something that you would like to do. Next, we have, as you can see, a new design. We have the visualization of the treatment plan, so you can again see any attachments that are going to pertain to the case or elastics. You can immediately see where these attachments will be placed and on what teeth. We have the IPR values at the contacts and when they may be executed. We have elastics that can be visualized as well, along with the IPR contacts in red. So what's new in this version? So when we're scrolling down, now you have an additional second page. And so again, your logo is now there. We have the model analysis option now. It shows up. So we have the ratios for your Bolton analysis. We have the tooth movement table available as well. So you can quickly see the value of movement of each tooth and the type of movement that that tooth underwent. And as we scroll further down, we also now have the staging visualization, so you can see how many stages are in the treatment plan. You also see the timeline of every tooth. So if a certain tooth started later in the treatment plan, you can quickly see it, as you can see here in the lower jaw. And the values that you see in the line are the highest speed value of that tooth is traveling to its final destination. So this is the new visualization in this version. So we'll just scroll up. Okay, so that is what's new in the option of the company settings for adding your logo and also for the PDF report. Okay, the next thing we're going to go over is also in the local settings, and it's called the height of base option. So as we scroll down within the settings, we're just going to go into the height of base. And so again, if you want to manipulate the options to edit the height of base, just click on the set values little button. Now you'll be able to manipulate the height of the base here. And so taking into account that the height of base will now extend from the lowest segmented point of the model. So if, I know it's a little small, but if you can see the visualization of the model, usually the canines are the longest tooth. And so from the lowest point on the canine is where the height will begin to get calculated. And we will see this in the post-processing. But here you can manipulate how tall or how short the height of the base will be for your printed models. Next, we're going to move into the ideal contact option. And so in the ideal contact, we'll be able to select the start value of measurement of spacing and collisions. So again, make sure that you have your set values tab turned on so we can manipulate and change the values of spacing or collision. So you can increase these or decrease the values in order for the software to begin taking measurement from your preferred value. You will also have this little tab that will document the interproximal distance when the contact is ideal. And so what I mean by that is, I'll show you. Right now, we usually only see in blue or red the spacing value and the collision value. If I click on this particular tab and I save as a preview, you will now visualize not only the values of collision that when we move a tooth, you see the red for collision and the blue for the spacing. But now, as you can see, we have the ideal contact values at every single contact point in the arch show up. So anything that is 0, 0, you can immediately see. And sometimes that gets a little busy, so we don't always want to see that. But I did want to show you what that looks like. So we're going to go back into the company settings, and we're going to go into the ideal contacts where we were, and I'm going to turn this off so we can, make sure that we don't have all that visualization. And again, click Save as Preview, so you'll immediately not see those options. Okay, so let's go back in there. So ideal contact. So next, we're going to go into the post-processing. And so you have printable model option. In the previous update, this option became available for the solid model, the hollow model, and hollow with stiffening ribs. One of the new features is that when we choose a hollow model or hollow model with stiffening ribs, you now have the option to select the wall thickness of that model. Sometimes people want to make sure that those models don't collapse and are strong enough. So now you can increase or decrease the wall thickness. Other option that became available with this new update is the printing orientation. Currently, we print, or when we export our files, all the models are on table. They're all flat on the base. But now you also have the option to export in byte. So one model will be flat on the table, your lower model, and your upper will be in byte. So this became available. So if people are undergoing additional treatment plans like implants and so forth, and you would like to use these models, you can export them in byte. So once you set it and you export, those will become available based on these settings. Okay, so next we're going to go over an additional step that was added. And let me make sure I have that window open. So the next option that we added to this version is what we call a quality checkpoint. And this has been added to the portal. So when you currently go to your portal and make your assign people within your organization to either do the case creation or setup or the review, there is now an option called quality check. Okay. And so this option became available in the menu as well. So when we complete the setup, the first thing we have to do is go into complete setup. So usually we would have the option to send it to review. So now we have the QC option. And this option was made so we can have an internal quality checkpoint within our organization. This will allow us to review and make sure that all instructions were followed before the client gets the case. You can skip it if you decide that that's something that you want to do and maybe you don't need your client to review it. So again, if there's an internal process that you would like to set up for a quality check, you can send the case to QC. And so that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to send this case to QC. And so it'll undergo the process. And as that's going, I'm also going to go ahead and switch windows or visualization so you can see the portal and see how that case wasn't set up. It's now going into the quality checkpoint. So I'm going to share that. I'm going to go here. Okay, so you should be seeing my portal. And so the case that was in review, let me see, this was in the meantime, in the background, that once it goes into quality check, the case will close in the software. So I'm just going to refresh this window. And so this case is going to go into quality checkpoint. So as you can see, it went from setup to now quality check. And so I'm going to click on the quality check. So now internally, I'm going to quality check the process of the setup. I'm going to click review case. And it works exactly as the review option, meaning you will go into your web viewer, open the case in a new tab in the browser will show up, and I will review the case and either approve it or modify, meaning request changes so the designer can go ahead and make those changes before I send the case to the client. So we're going to click on approve. And if the case has gone back to set up more than once from the quality checkpoint, you will see this notification show up. It means that if you have reviewed the case and the all the parameters are met, you can approve and send it to the review again for the doctor, or approve it and send it directly to post-processing, meaning you're skipping the review process because now you know that the case is perfect. It didn't need to go back to your client. So you can go ahead and approve and transfer the case immediately to post-processing. If you selected the first option, it means it will go to the review and the person selected to review the case, whether it's the doctor or someone within the organization, again, will go ahead and review the case. So we're going to send the case to post-processing. So again, this option for quality check, you can skip it if there is no need for internal quality check. So the case has gone into post-processing. So we'll close that. And so you can see now that the case is in the post-processing. Let me just refresh that. There it is. So now we're going to open the case. And as you can see here in the portal, we have the stages. We have after the setup, it can go into the internal quality checkpoint and then the review and then post-process. So we're going to open the window for the case itself. It's going to open up in the post-processing stage. And I'm going to share that window, because the next thing that we're going to be going over is the base trimming option. So you're going to see the height of the base, but the new update will allow us to use either a gizmo or a cell to change the trimming angle of the base itself. So that's something that a lot of people have been waiting for. So I'm really excited to show that. So post-processing now has 2 stages. As you can see at the top, it says post-processing 1 of 2. So in this stage, I'm going to just look at have a buckle view. And as you can see, we have a plane and we have measurements. So it's going to provide us the lowest point of measurement from the segmented tooth and the highest point. So here, if we want, sometimes when we're going to print models, not only do we want a shorter base, but sometimes the interiors, like you see in this case, the anterior area is shorter and the posterior is taller. So if we want to adjust and have a more even cutting angulation, then we can manipulate the model itself with the gizmo and change the angulation in which the trimming of the base happens. So we can either change with the gizmo, whether it is on a buccal view, facial, or lingual view. And we can always reset, and we can always manipulate the cells itself if we wish to. So by manipulating either the plus or the minus sign, I can change the angulation in which the plane is trimming the model. Once you've done your upper, you can continue to the lower and apply the same feature. So this is really exciting. This is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. So we're going to continue. And the next stage, the part 2 of the post-processing, is going to allow us to move into the labeling of the model. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the fillers option. Let's see. So you know that we can label our models with the aligner number. You can add a name of the patient. We can add the text, manipulate it, angle it. We can place it anywhere on the model. But let's say we want to add a filler at a specific area. So when we right click on the gum tissue, you do have the option for fillers for all the aligners in the entire arch for the fillers to be applied. But if we only want a specific area to have a filler, we'll simply select the 2 teeth where we want the filler to be applied, and we'll right click, and then we can add filler to this particular interproximal area to all aligners. So we don't have to add fillers to the entire arch, just to the area that we want. So what is new in this version is that we now not only have the option to manipulate and change the value of height or width for the filler itself, so we can extend it, we can make it taller, but we also now have the option when you right click for movements. So you can still manipulate by increasing the filler itself individually one by one without using the gizmo. But if also now we have the movements. So now the gizmo changes and I can completely manipulate where that filler is applied if you need it to. So then we can simply just right click and go back to the scale. And then you can see that the gizmo now changes. So we can manipulate the scale manually with the gizmo. So these are some of the new settings that you have available in this version 1.13. And I won't be able to answer any questions today, and I'm sorry, this was more of an informative session. But I did want to share with you, share another screen. So the window I'm sharing now is our website. So I wanted you to see the website because we have revamped it. And so now there's additional information that is visually more accessible. And so if you have different plans that you may be interested in for Dr. Vision, you can now see the plans available to you. And if you have questions or feel that you want to get in contact with us, simply click on the Buy Now option. You'll fill out the form, and then one of our team members will get back to you. If you want a demonstration for the software or the portal, you simply will also go into Book Demo and then fill out the form, and one of our team members will get back to you. Also, if you are a lab and you're interested in learning more about the software options, you simply click on Vision Lab. You have the plans available. And again, when you click on the Buy Now option, you'll have the option to go ahead, enter your information, and have one of our team members reach back out to you, as well as booking a demo. If you want design services from us, then again, the design service options and plans are available. And so, yes, this is definitely something that you can have quick access to on the website. And I'm so glad that all of you were able to join us today. I think this concludes our session for today. Again, it was an informative session. I hope that you all enjoyed it. I hope that you join us again in our next session. And thank you so much. So I'll stop sharing today, and that'll be all for today. Thanks again.